All right, everybody, welcome back. We are diving deep today, and we're talking crypto.
Okay.
Not the same old song and dance,
Yeah.
buy the dip and all that jazz.
Right.
We're looking at how crypto is really going to impact just normal, everyday Americans.
Yeah.
And this is huge. It's way bigger than just like
Oh, absolutely.
people of percentages in your portfolio.
Yeah.
This is like
Yeah.
the future of money.
It really is.
So to help us make sense of all of this, we're looking at this article, Unlocking the Future.
Okay.
And that's why cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum are gaining momentum in America.
Makes sense.
So let's talk about one of the biggest things that's been in the news lately with crypto, and that is BlackRock,
Yeah.
this massive investment firm.
Yeah.
They're getting into Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think? Is this like a sign that like the big boys are finally taking crypto seriously?
Oh, I think so. I mean,
Yeah.
BlackRock is not known for like frivolous investments, right?
Right.
They're very calculated.
Yeah, they're not messing around.
So when they start putting money in it, that says something that says, hey, this is not just a fad.
Right.
This is something that's here to stay. And it kind of gives that legitimacy to the whole space.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everyone's been kind of waiting for that institutional adoption.
Totally.
And I think this is a huge step in that direction.
And I think that's going to lead to other firms doing the same thing.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's like once one domino falls.
Exactly. The floodgates open.
Yeah, everyone's going to be jumping in. And so the article also talks about this idea of ETPs,
Yes.
which is exchange-traded products.
Right.
Now, those sound pretty complicated, but I think they're actually a really cool way for just regular folks to get involved in crypto.
Oh, absolutely. Because, you mentioned all the technical stuff like private keys and,
Yeah, you got to have a crypto wallet, and it's like...
Exactly. And most people they don't want to deal with that, right?
Right.
So an ETP, it's basically like it's like a stock.
Yeah.
You can buy it through your regular broker. So you can get exposure to Bitcoin, let's say, without actually having to worry about storing it yourself.
Yeah, so you don't have to understand all the technical details. You can just be like, I want some Bitcoin.
Exactly.
I'm going to buy some shares.
Mm-hmm. And it's a lot more accessible for people, right?
Totally. Like even potentially for like retirement accounts.
Oh, yeah. Think about that.
It's like, whoa.
You could have Bitcoin in your 401k.
That's crazy. So we've got these big firms getting involved. We've got easier ways for people to invest.
Yeah.
The article also talks about Bitcoin NFTs.
Yes. This is a very interesting development.
Yeah, and I have to admit, I don't fully understand
Okay.
what's going on with these ordinals.
Right. So, Bitcoin has always been seen as this digital gold.
Yeah.
It's a store of value, right?
Right.
But these ordinals, they're basically they're like digital assets.
Okay.
Like collectibles or even like digital art.
So it's like putting an image on the blockchain.
Yeah. And what's crazy is they're putting it on the Bitcoin blockchain.
Oh, wow. Which was never really designed for that.
I thought Bitcoin was just for transactions,
Yeah, exactly.
like sending money back and forth.
But now they're figuring out ways to use it for all these other things.
That's wild.
It's showing us that Bitcoin can be more than just money.
So what kind of stuff are we talking about? Like what kind of digital art are people putting on Bitcoin?
Oh, it's all kinds of stuff. There's these pixel art projects.
Okay.
There's people are doing these generative art pieces.
Oh.
There are even people trying to put music on there.
Wow. So it's a whole new world of
Yeah, it's a whole new ecosystem.
Bitcoin art collecting and
Exactly.
trading and all of that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And speaking of new and exciting, the article also mentions stablecoins.
Right.
So things like USDC and USDT.
Yeah, these are a really fascinating part of the crypto world.
So for those who don't know, remind us what exactly is a stablecoin.
Sure. So a stablecoin, it's a cryptocurrency.
But it's designed to be pegged to something stable.
Like the US dollar?
Exactly like the
Yeah.
US dollar. So the idea is that you get the benefits of crypto,
Hmm?
like the fast transactions, the low fees,
Right.
but without the volatility.
Because nobody wants to go buy a cup of coffee.
Yeah,
And suddenly their Bitcoin is worth half as much.
right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So stablecoins, they're trying to solve that problem.
So imagine you could send, dollars to someone
Yeah.
in another country instantly.
Yeah.
For fractions of a penny.
Exactly. That's the promise.
That's pretty awesome. But the article does mention that there's some regulatory stuff,
Yeah, there's definitely some uncertainty.
especially in the US compared to Europe and Asia.
Right. And that's kind of a concern because,
Yeah.
you don't want to stifle innovation.
Right.
And if the U.S. falls behind in regulation, it could mean that, we lose out on a lot of the benefits.
So it's not just about, making money or investing. It's about
Yeah.
America's place in this whole.
It's about the future of finance.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Are we going to be leading the charge or are we going to be playing catch up?
Right. So
Yeah.
I guess the big question for our listeners is, what can we do? How can we make sure that America stays at the forefront of all this cool stuff?
Well, I think education is key, right?
Yeah.
People need to understand what's going on.
So like reading articles like this.
Exactly. Reading articles, listening to podcasts,
Yeah.
doing their own research.
And then once they're educated, what can they do?
Well, they can get involved.
Like how?
Well, there's all kinds of ways. I mean, you can join online communities.
Oh, yeah.
There's tons of resources out there.
For forums and discords and
Exactly. And you can even, attend conferences, meet people.
go to events.
Exactly. And most importantly, I think they need to start thinking about how crypto can impact their own lives.
Right. Like not just as an investment.
Exactly. Like how can it change the way you bank, how you spend money,
Yeah.
how you manage your own finances.
Right. So it's more than just like,
Yeah. It's a paradigm shift.
yeah, it's a whole new way of thinking about
Exactly.
money and finance. And
This whole system.
so it's exciting, but it's also a little bit scary.
Oh, sure. There's always risks.
Yeah. And we always say, don't invest more than you can afford to lose.
Absolutely.
But I think it's also important to be open-minded
Yeah.
because this technology,
It has the potential to change the world.
yeah,
And if we're not paying attention,
we might get left behind.
exactly. And,
Yeah.
just imagine
Yeah.
a world where you have complete control over your own digital identity and assets.
Whoa.
That's what crypto could enable.
That's powerful stuff.
It is.
So as always, we want to thank you for joining us on this deep dive. And we encourage you to keep learning,
Yes,
keep exploring the world of crypto because the future is being written right now.
it is.
And we want you to be a part of it.
Absolutely.
So until next time, happy diving.